Hey guys, welcome to Neighborhood Picks. Very happy today, very happy. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but we are officially 30 days in from the NFL season. 30 days from kickoff. Now we can stop messing around. We can start dropping our rankings. It just feels like football is starting. Getting your group chats with your boys for leagues that everybody's kind of setting up their drafts, and now we're going to start having fun. And I would say midweek this week, because we all got about 3 weeks till our draft. So midweek this week, we're going to drop those hammers, the list, just like last year, the top running backs, top 30. We're going to talk about it, get into everything, talk about the team, everything, the team they're on, their role, what's going on. There's so many factors, variables that come into the lists, health, age, potential. Some guys it's potential. Some guys are in the rear view with big names. And before we go position by position, that's kind of what I wanted to get into today. Before I knock those down and really take a deep dive, I like to look at the draft board generally, the ADPs, the average draft position. And I try to look for who slipped from years ago. And then I ask myself why. And would I take a shot on them, and just basically why they're so low, and would it be worth it to grab them in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth round? That's where you really win your leagues, because we kind of all have a good idea of the top 20, but there's a lot of guys outside of the top 20 and then even outside of the top 30 that we got to take a look at. So I was thinking about one guy, and I was having a conversation with my buddy again. And I used to call him, I used to call him White Rice. And then for a couple years, I re-nicknamed him Quarter After One, because every Sunday at quarter after one, he was always the first guy in the end zone. And Adam Thielen. So I'm thinking about Adam Thielen, and I'm wondering, he's not on anybody's top 30. And this guy was a productive pro for a while, Pro Bowler. And then I took a deeper dive. The first thing I asked myself was, how old is he? And I find out he's only 31 years old. He'll be 32 in like next week or something like that. But the guy's 31 years old. To put that into perspective, Travis Kelce is 34, and nobody talks about him at all. Like they're worried. Like everybody's got Kelce top first, second round. I've seen him in the top 20. Like Kelce. People just assume that at 34, he's going to just tear it up because he's Mahomes' number one target, and that's it. And if you take a deeper dive into Kelce's medical history, he had a microfracture knee surgery. Same thing Amari Stoudemire had. And I remember Amari Stoudemire on Phoenix. And then I remember him after the microfracture surgery with the Knicks, and he wasn't the same. But I guess things change over the years. I don't know. Maybe he got good surgery because he's really been tearing up the league. But he's off of surgeries. It's not like Kelce's never been hurt. So when I look at Thielen, I checked out the injury. He's 31 years old. He'll be 32 August 22nd. So that's 10 days from now. Last year, 2021, he got hurt in week 13, ankle injury. He had 67 catches for 726 yards and 10 touchdowns. Quarter after one. The guy has a nose for the end zone. He missed week 13 to 17. Then he tried to come back. He rehurt it, and he needed surgery. So that's the big thing why he's down. He had an ankle surgery. So I've been reading up on it, and he says that he feels rejuvenated and excited to start the season. He said he's 100%. And the reason he feels rejuvenated and excited is because of Connolly, the new head coach. He came over from the Rams. Supposedly, they're putting in a lot of forward-thinking offense and adding on to an already potent Minnesota offense, but they're doing a lot of cool stuff, and they're all excited about learning the new system. So they're pretty pumped. They got a coach that's coming from the Rams. We see what they do with those receivers, with the quick balls and everything. And Adam Thielen last year, 2021, 67 catches, 726 yards, 10 touchdowns, 13 games. He was on pace for over 1,000 yards. Year before, 2020, 74 catches, 925, 14 touchdowns. That was Jefferson's first year. So guys had 24 touchdown catches in the last 2 years, and he didn't even finish last season. So in 2019, nothing. 30 catches, 418, 6 touchdowns. I don't know what happened there. I think he might have been hurt. But then 2018, 1,373 yards, 113 catches, 9 touchdowns. 2017, 1,300 yards, 91 catches. So if you look at the body of work from Thielen in the last 5 years, he's got the 1,000-yard seasons. He's got double-digit touchdowns the last 2 seasons. If he got that ankle cleaned up, healed, rehabbed, I got to think that he might be a dangerous guy that you're going to be looking at in rounds 4 or 5 for Adam Thielen. So we need to take a hard look on guys like that. That's why I like to bring 1 or 2 of these out early before I go into the full list. Looking at Thielen. Michael Thomas is in no one's top 30. The guy led the world in everything in the last full season he played. 150 catches or something, 145 catches, something ridiculous. Michael Thomas, nobody's looking at him. He's back. They also got Chris Olave in New Orleans and Jameis with a big arm. So Michael Thomas could be right there. Now remember, you had 27 1,000-yard receivers last year, only 7 1,000-yard running backs. So that's why, J.K. Dobbins, he's down low this year, down low. He had an ACL. If he comes back strong, he might be good. Then you got 2 types of guys that come back off the ACL. Saquon, still tentative last year. It looks like he needs 2 years. He already looks really good this year. Adrian Peterson, I remember 10 years ago to the summer, sitting at the draft with my friends, looking at Adrian Peterson in like the 5th round. He tore his whole ACL, MCL, everything, like late Christmas time. I'm looking at him. I took him. Fuck it. And he had 2,000 yards that coming season off the ACL. So J.K. Dobbins might be right there. Cam Akers. Somebody's got to run the ball for the Rams, especially if Stafford's got the sore elbow. Cam Akers looked good off the Achilles already in the Super Bowl. Now, on a lot of average draft boards, 19 to 22-ish, you got 4 running backs that sometimes you got to throw the list out, because if you're picking 10th, 11th, or 12th, and you don't get those big receivers that like the ones that look like they're ahead of everybody, like Kupp, Chase, Jefferson, Diggs, like, do you go for another receiver, or do you step out of the box a little bit and look at a Javonte Williams from Denver, Aaron Jones? Green Bay has no receivers yet. They didn't gel their passing game yet. I think they're going to go heavy on Jones, catching the ball and running, and Dillon. But Jones, Saquon Barkley, these guys are all late 2nd round. So whoever picks early might see Jones, Chubb, Javonte Williams, Saquon on the comeback. So if you pick early and you have balls and you feel like you could find receivers late, imagine if you take Jonathan Taylor or Henry or McCaffrey or Eckler with the first 3 or 4. You're one of those guys. And you're looking at Saquon Barkley or Aaron Jones on the way back. You might have to load that fucking backfield up and go with the horses. So it's going to be fun. I just brought up Adam Thielen because he's down there. Julio Jones, as much of a pain in the ass as it is. It's like a pain in the ass to me because you don't know who's healthy now on Tampa Bay. Mike Evans tweaked the hammy already. Godwin back week 1. Godwin might be the most productive out of all of them. He might come right back running, hit the ground running full speed. But it's tough. Julio Jones, he's 33. They say he looks like he's 23. He's flying, and he's supposed to be healthy and in great shape. Julio Jones is down there. Major all-world talent. Greatest of all time type talent. We've seen Julio dominate. He's going to be down there. It's just, do you want to waste a pick in the 4th or 5th round on a guy that you might just get for 5-6 weeks? That's the thing. But Thielen, if he's got the surgery on the ankle and got it cleaned up and he's back and rejuvenated, and they still got to pay attention to Jefferson, they can never double Thielen. That's why he's got such a nose for the end zone these last 2 years, because you got to pay attention to Jefferson. Thielen, 24 touchdowns. So we took a little deep dive on Adam Thielen today. He's only 31 years old, very productive, coming off an ankle surgery, supposed to be 100%, and you got a Minnesota team that's ascending, so we got to look at that. Guys I'm going to be touching on a lot, Thielen, low. Debo, supposed to do everything, low. Debo just got paid. They're going to use the shit out of him. Saquon Barkley, they're going to use the shit out of him too this year. These are guys that are going to be late second round probably. You got to look at. Ezekiel Elliott is at the bottom of the second round in some third rounds. Guys like 26, 27. What the fuck is going on with Zeke? So we got a lot. We're going to do a lot. So I just wanted to touch up. Happy to announce that we're 30 days out from the season. Wanted to do a little touch up on average draft positions, just skimming the top. And then we got our list coming this week. So neighborhood picks, like and subscribe. And it's going to be a great season. My boys, you know who you are. I can't wait to get some of you guys on here on the Zoom and do our picks. I want to have a pick segment where a couple of us are competing all year to see who pick them, best record. And then we're gonna get into our FanDuel, DraftKings odds, team over/unders, wins, losses, player over/unders. Like I'll tell you one right now. I'll give you a little cookie. Saquon Barkley over/under 7.5 touchdowns. I think over. I mean, there's some really good ones. So we're gonna not only are we gonna do the fantasy football lists, but we're going to go through player over/unders, receiving yards, passing yards, touchdowns. We're going to find everything we could in the gambling side as well. So neighborhood picks, like and subscribe. And the closer we get to the season, the harder we're going to keep going. And those lists are dropping this week. All right, I'll see you guys later.